All right, let's talk about the stock market. We're looking at the monthly chart. I think it's important to look at this monthly chart right now. Let me get rid of that pink color. Let's try yellow. The reason I say that is because if you take a look at this cycle right here in the monthly chart, this ends way over here at, let's get this, November 28th, 2024. So that's quite a ways out, yeah? But the middle part of this is October of this year, 2023, about right there, okay? So that's pretty important. You can see the MACD is kind of bottoming out here. It looks like it may want to go up. Short term, though, we got some things that look like they might want to roll over on the MACD. So we'll keep an eye on this monthly chart. It's pretty important. But I can see price increasing up to about October. And then I think we'll see price start, maybe just come down and kind of level off. But anyway, I just wanted to show that monthly chart because it's important to keep track of all time frames. Look at the weekly chart real quick here. Right, so yesterday on the video from yesterday, I said expect to see a pullback down into May 28th. I've been saying this for probably like the last week. Well, today we had a pretty decent pullback, and I said 40.62 is possible. I'm not 100% sure that this pullback is done yet, though it could be. We do see divergence here on the weekly chart, so there could be some more downside here still to go. We'll have to definitely keep an eye on this as well. Right, so yesterday on the video from yesterday, I said expect to see a pullback down into May 28th. I've been saying this for probably like the last week. Well, today we had a pretty decent pullback, and I said 40.62 is possible. I'm not 100% sure that this pullback is done yet, though it could be. We do see divergence here on the weekly chart, so there could be some more downside here still to go. We'll have to definitely keep an eye on this as well. All right, but I said yesterday and for the entire last week, even 2 weeks, that we were going to get a pullback into May 28th. Look at these cycles. My goodness. Look at all these. Down into these cycles. Bam. This one down into here. Bam. This one down to here. Down here. Bam. Down here. Bam. So let's take a look at the daily chart. So today you can see a big pullback all the way down. Let me get to the daily drawing set so we can see those support figures. There it is. Yesterday, again, I said 41.12. Look at that, guys and gals. Came right down and touched at 41.14. Now I got to ask you, does it get any better than that? I've had this chart up for weeks. I've been talking about 41.12 and 40.76 down into May 28th. Now let's just talk real quick, and I'll switch over to the other time frames, the shorter time frames, the 5, 15 minute and the 1 hour. But before I do, I want to just talk about, is this pullback done? It could be done, but just look at these charts. There may be a little bit more to go here. The reason I say that is, take a look at something like this candlestick right here. Kind of a hammerish candlestick, right? So even though this did come down and touch support, it may not be done. We could see one of these candlesticks tomorrow. Something, I'm not saying it's going to be this big, but we could. So be prepared. There's definitely some data coming in right now that's suggesting that there's going to be a pretty big move in the market. It's, significant enough move. We'll have to see which way that's going to be. The other candlestick I wanted to show you that kind of stood out to me, see if I can find it in there, is, let me just spread this out so we can see it a little bit better, is kind of hard to see with the drawing set, but it's this little candlestick right there, that one. Okay? That's also this hammerish looking candlestick. Now, this one happens to be green, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, we've got a peak right here. You get a peak. You get this big candlestick that pulls back. This one took 2 days to mature before we got that big candlestick, right? And then you get this little hammer looking candlestick. And then you get a continuation the next day of that big candlestick. So we're going to have to see what tomorrow brings, overnight futures as well as tomorrow's intraday. We'll see if it breaks below this, or do we start seeing a bounce? My instincts tell me this is not quite done yet. Today's candlestick, is as low as it got, was a bit of a surprise. I didn't think it was going to get all the way down to 41.12 all in one day. So there may be more in this to the downside before this is over, guys and gals. So don't be in a hurry to go long just yet. I don't think we're quite done with this. Okay, let's look at the shorter time frames, and we'll talk about, is there a trade of the day? You know, at this point, actually, let me show you my specific trade. Sometimes I'll share trades with, so I'm going to share a trade that I made with this particular pullback. All right, you can see this was just a screenshot of a trade I made. I closed this position. It was sometime this morning. I had a limit order to get out of the position. Here you go, $818. I'm sorry, $818.75. I had 5 little micro future contracts. Really nice trade. I took advantage of this big old candlestick and made some nice little bank today. I just thought I'd share that with everybody. Yes, I actually use my own service. It isn't just my members that use my service. I actually use the service myself, and I make bank as well. Okay, let's look at the trade of the day. Okay, here's the 5-minute chart. And by the way, these charts, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 1 hour, get streamed live to my members 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay, only time it's not streaming, obviously, is on weekends. But looking at the 5-minute chart, what was the trade of the day? Now, for futures, they started, just so you know, it started right over here last night at 5 o'clock, because futures opened at 5 o'clock the previous night, and run all the way over to here. So this entire length here, left to right, is the full, futures session in a 5-minute chart, right? So where was the trade of the day? It was right here, guys. Look at this. Let me spread this out a bit. We know this is approximately right around 1 a.m. in the morning last night. So sometimes you really got to pay attention. You could take advantage sometimes, not always, doesn't happen that often, but it does happen sometimes. You can take advantage of the overnight session. All right, it happened right here. So 1 a.m. last night. Look at that warning. This alert came in on the Discord server last night at 1 o'clock in the morning. And just look at that. My goodness. From there, bam. Wow. Now for new members may ask, well, how do you know direction? Okay, because by the way, welcome new members. Got a lot of new members coming into membership. That's great. Take advantage of it. It's all in Discord server. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Okay, but one of the members asked today, new member, well, how do you know direction? Because alert comes in a Discord server. They're also watching the streaming charts, and they wanted to know, well, how do you know direction? It's a great question. Okay, obviously the SMI here, the Stochastic Momentum Index, at this point is pretty low, right? It's way below this bottom line. So you're in negative territory down here. And same thing with the Big Daddy. Yeah, that's my own indicator that gets streamed. That's also below at that point, right about here is below this bottom line. So you're in negative territory. That's number one. But and that's important to understand where you're at in negative territory. But the big thing that really stands out that really makes this a trade of the day is look at the MACD right here. Right here, just to the right of it is where it took place, this line right here. Okay? Look at the gap, and let me just spread this out a little bit. Okay? Look at that gap in the MACD right here. See it? That means you're in negative territory on the fast-moving indicators, and the slower moving indicator like the MACD is telling you this is a really safe trade to make, and it's going to go south for quite a while. That's how you know to make that trade. That's just one instance, right, of how you can determine direction. Knowing that we were coming down, a lot of people don't know about cycle analysis, especially some of the new members may not know about cycle analysis. It's kind of really important actually that you get a grasp of that. Okay, there's 2 different cycles going here, but this big cycle right here, it's very common to see a cycle decline late like this. This is a very strong cycle, right? The entire time this cycle's going up. Sure, you get some pullbacks in here, which is also very common to happen right in the middle of a cycle like it did right here, right? But when you see a cycle like this, as strong as it is, then the pullback late down into the cycle low is usually just going to be abrupt and for a few days. So it was almost a given we were going to get this pullback, albeit it may not be very deep. We'll see whether it gets down to this 40.76 or not. Okay, so you got to keep, especially for the new members, just for everybody, particularly all the members and new members, you got to keep track of multiple time frames. That includes weekly, daily, hourly, 15-minute, and 5-minute. Okay? it's really important to have a good sense of what all the time frames are doing so you can trade appropriately, all right? Okay, here we're over on the Discord server, and this is where all the membership services take place, all right? Here, right here in the S&P 500 alerts, here was that 1 o'clock alert that came in right there, 1:01 p.m. 1 minute later, 5-minute alert came in. Okay, so members are getting this. So what they do is they right-click on this, they click notifications, they click all messages, and they get notified of the alert. And even if they don't have their own charting software, they can look at the live stream that I have running. So they can make use of that. A lot of people are on mobile devices. You know, it's not always easy to make trades on mobile devices. They can go do that. They can just look at the stream, they get the alert, they place the trade. All right, they also get it, members, for gold alerts. Okay, for crude oil. So these would be commodities, right? Stock alerts, top 30 S&P 500 and NASDAQ stock alerts come in. Okay, and for those who want to do swing trades, we have what's called daily only alerts. And yesterday, Starbucks came in. I talked about that to my members, saying this is probably going to pull back to $98. I think today I saw it come down from like 100 or 101 down to 99. All right, so this is all included. If you like what you're seeing in this video, click on the link in the first comment of the YouTube video. It's going to bring you to this server right here. Get a server, and what you're looking for is right up here, server subscriptions. Okay, you click on that. You're going to get this page right here, $7.99. That's an amazing value for everything that comes with this service. All right, and here's everything that comes with the service. Everything is on the Discord server. You know, videos, right? Like the one I'm doing right here on YouTube, that's just me sharing my opinion with both the members and the public. Everybody gets the videos, okay? But what you get when you join the membership is you get everything inside this rectangle right here. Okay, so just pause the video. Now, one more thing I want to just mention to members. If you're a new member, okay, and you want to get the nightly emails that I send out that's included in that service that you saw, then make sure you put your email address in the members only, let me get the right color here, the members only email channel, okay? And then you'll get the nightly emails. If you don't put it in there, you're not going to get the nightly emails that I put out every night on the S&P 500 charts, okay, giving me my opinion and telling you about where I think the market's headed, all right? It's really important to put your email in there if you want to get the nightly emails. All right, I hope everybody really enjoyed the video. Again, if you like what you see, just click the link in the first comment of this video, come to the server, click on server subscriptions. Happy trading, everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.